Yes, 2-5 is here. Sports Reports Assorted coming at you shortly with some Zion Williamson talk, with some picks for this weekend. But we got some business to get to first. So, you may or may not have heard by now, and I'm sure you have. There you go, get a look at it. The Seminoles are supposed to be having a meeting tomorrow. I first saw this on my drive home today from work. Bud Elliott, the great Bud Elliott of the Cover 3 podcast and 24/7, put out a tweet saying that FSU is expected to meet tomorrow to get the board together to start their process of leaving the ACC. Now, this is something that we've obviously been talking about for at least 2 weeks around here. Obviously, we talked about it earlier before the season started when it was a hot topic. This is really happening this time because, one, the College Football Playoff Committee and what they did to Florida State. Two, the ACC has no future. If it's not FSU, it's somebody else. It'll be Clemson. It'll be North Carolina. Like North Carolina to the SEC, I don't know why it hasn't happened yet. As far as Florida State in the SEC, I understand why it hadn't happened, though I don't like it. I say let Florida State in, but you're already saying, hey, we got the state of Florida already covered. We got Georgia right here. FSU doesn't add that much from a TV standpoint. You're not gaining new viewership, whereas North Carolina would bring that. And they would also bring a top flight basketball program to pair with Kentucky as well. Now, with that being said, what is it going to cost? We've been talking about this. The ACC has a $120 million exit fee that Florida State will have to pay. They have to give at least a year notice, so the earliest that they could be in a new conference is 2025. Then, about another $350 or $360 for the grant of rights that don't expire to 2036, FSU potentially giving up the rights to the home games. So this is where these other schools matter. Clemson, Miami, North Carolina, the Magnificent Seven, because if enough of them leave, maybe this is all a moot discussion. But let's just say, for shits and giggles, that this goes down. The ACC has to backfill. You're losing your biggest program football-wise. Sorry, North Carolina, chill. I know I said football-wise. As far as revenue, as far as ratings. So what do? So I came up with 4 teams that I think the ACC could grab to replace Florida State. Maybe they grab 3 out of these 4 to kind of hold on in case somebody else decides to leave, right? Now, so Tulane, Coach Willie Fritz has proven that you can win there. He's off now to Houston. In comes John Summerall from Troy. But Willie Fritz was able to go 54-47 in 8 years there. That does not sound impressive at all. But remember, they made the New Year's Six last year, beat Trojangelis and Caleb Williams, Mr. Heisman. Then they were on the verge of another New Year's Six this year before they lost in the AAC championship game to SMU, new ACC member as of next season, SMU, which is my next point. You need a school that'll cut that bridge in SMU's travel. So especially for basketball season, you like to travel in pairs. Go play Duke and Carolina this week. Go play Georgia Tech and Florida State this week. Well, you can go play SMU and Tulane in the same week and cut down some of the travel. Now, with that being said, we've seen Tulane go 13-0 back in 1999, CUSA, Sean King and the gang. So Tulane has had success, this original founding member of the SEC, but are they worthy? Are they next up on the ACC alignment ranking? Now, USF, South Florida. Why? Because they're in Tampa. If you hadn't noticed, Tampa's in Florida. Tampa is a big market. So TV screens, you're not going to replace Florida State from the TV standpoint, but you could do a lot worse than UCF if that's your aim. Problem. So they've been around since 2000. Started out as an independent for 3 years before moving up. So back in 2007, and this is a long, long, long time ago because this was when Matt Ryan was running around here when I became a Matt Ryan fan. Thursday night football touchdown pass to beat Virginia Tech. USF was number 2 or number 3 in the polls that year. So they were on the move. They were on the come up, looking like the new Florida State, except for they got passed by UCF, aka hashtag UC Facts. But put that to the side for a second. Ever since that ranking, after that season, USF has gone 88-107. They are 6-6 this year, playing Syracuse tonight in the one of these bowl games, playing Syracuse tonight. But the previous 4 years to this season, 6-6, 8-37. So we'll see. Got a new head coach over from Tennessee installing that offense. We saw them give Bama a tussle this year. So the future for USF might look a little bright. My pick, if it were up to me, Memphis. If you've been following Sports Reports as ordered, following 2-5 Daily, you saw me already chatted up about the Tigers and what they bring to the table. Not only do they bring football, but to a conference like the ACC, basketball is valuable. Look at what Penny just did. They just whooped Virginia a couple of nights ago. So Memphis is on the come up, made the last 2 NCAA tournaments, probably co-favorites with FAU to win the AAC this year and get to another NCAA tournament. They finished third, tied for third in the AAC in football this year. That's where, if you don't remember, Coach Mike Norvell came from Memphis. So Memphis has pedigree and success in sports. They're probably, out of all the candidates, they are, without question, the best combination of football and basketball, because my next candidate, West Virginia, has been up and down. Bob Huggins is gone. West Virginia, the school of Jerry West, should have been in the ACC many, many, many moons ago. But why would the ACC want them now? Because the ACC got a bunch of biggie schools anyway. Pitt, Syracuse, Virginia Tech, Black Diamond Trophy, Miami. The rivalries, the geography makes sense. They lost Maryland. West Virginia would have been a great fit then. But is the ACC stable enough to even pull West Virginia at this point? And then the last 2 candidates, which are not really candidates, so they only get about a half a bar, UAB and Marshall. UAB, nice location. Marshall, if West Virginia can't get in, why would you get in?